Are here over in team 1. Gonna have to try to see if we can hold the fort. We only got a 4-man over in team 1 though. Or team 2? Team 1? Archie is team 2. Duty's part of team 1. Now we got that out of the way. I gotta find a better name. I keep calling this man Judy. And I keep thinking of like Judy from Cyberpunk for some reason. Wall for Archie as just getting blasted out by the paladin as Judy's trying to give this man some justice. Judd? I guess I could call him Judd. I'm trying to give him like a better nickname. Well, like Judy rolls off the tongue. Judy. I like his sword, by the way. I like his whole mog. Oh, he doesn't look happy with me calling him Judy, though. He doesn't look happy. He doesn't look pleased at all. But you bet this man will be pretty happy if he can get himself a big slammer jammer on the Enhancer Shaman as he's sending out the hounds. Actually, it's kind of perfect because this guy's got like a full Scarlet Crusade mog going on. So release of the hounds kind of fits here, doesn't it? But Jude trying to see if he can go for a stun. Big blast. Those gonna be full wings. Or he could be in big trouble. Was that real wings there just now? I think it was a real wings. Trying to see if he can crack through the defenses. Shaman got plenty of healing. He's gonna try to see if he can maybe get some kind of pressure damage with big lightning bolts out of Jude. Trying to see if he can go for a stun there. It's gonna be Trinket out of Jude just to make sure he can walk away. It's gonna be quick interrupt on Holy, but the Fleshcraft is gonna give him a little bit of survivability. Is Archie able to blast through the shield as soon as the 20% dip? Damage reduction from Fleshcraft is gone. He might be able to make something happen. Blasting into the shield. Jude only got his own health bar. Does have a bubble. Does have a bob. But if he can maybe bank up a bunch of Maelstrom, go for a big Primordial, Ella Blast into a Lightning Bolt, that could be a massive amount of damage. If only he could just bank up that much Maelstrom. He has to be focused on his own health as well. Jude taking a bit of damage. Got himself out for a night. Big Zap does go for the bubble. Doesn't get him low enough. Archie is going to go for a bit of a self-heal. Is it trying to Fleshcraft? No rebuke by the Paladin. It looks like Paladin tried to maybe interrupt Archie. And Archie does get the Paladin low. No! Unfortunate. Holy moly, going to be up next. What kind of mog you got going on? You barely can see it. Oh, there we go. Fleshcraft gone. We actually get to see it. We got a 5th. Oh, was it Ballas I was waiting for? There he is. Holy moly, trying to... Oh. Wait, is that the Mage Tower Shoulder? That is Mage Tower Shoulder. It's going to be great to fade as the Capacitor comes down, but Archie dropping down the Tremor, expecting the fear out of Holy moly. There goes the full stun, PI and everything. If he can maybe, she could maybe keep all the pressure onto Archie, slow him down. Big Aegis, it's going to reduce a lot of the magic damage you take, but that pet is actually doing a lot of physical damage too. Not the mages, but rather the, I guess it disappeared, but what's it called? Shadow Fiend? Actually does a lot of physical damage. Still weird that it's a pet class. Holy moly, taking a bit of damage as it gets zapped up by the lightning bolt, bitten up by the wolves. Holy moly, dropping down. Shadow Crash a little, I think a little off to the side, a little further than wanted. Big Ellie Blast into the Shadow Priest, does have a lot of survivability. Quick interrupt by Archie, could go for a massive heal, unless Archie has another interrupt here. Looks like Holy moly is playing the normal Relentless Circuit, not playing the new Resolve Trinket. I wonder if that would help out a Shadow Priest, the new Resolve. Going to be a Resonant Trinket. Trying to keep Archie slowed. Is going to be able to waddle out of there. That is a tight spot. There's not a lot of stuns really available for Holy moly to keep a person in place unless they maybe mind control him and release him last second as the Resonant Trinket does damn. Fleshcraft, as Archie does not have an interrupt. It's Holy moly catching up a little bit of health, but this Ghost was joining in. Trying to see if they can use the Fiery Bite to burn through his shield. Going to be touch of the VT. Get it set up by Holy moly. I want to go very touch. And then I start thinking touching the Magi. Could be greater fade. Does get a fear. Going to be a big heal. No interrupt for Archie for a little bit. Maybe a Fleshcraft available. Still out in the open. Still getting blasted up by all the pets. Actually kind of big value damage for the Shadow Prince right now. As Archie get hit with the silence. No way to interrupt this. No way to self-heal right now. Does he have enough Maelstrom though? He looks like he does. Dampening finally rolling in. Holy moly, just trying to stay alive as best as possible. Goes to joining in, so it's not going to help the situation whatsoever. Ground Charge could come out for Archie. Definitely needs to get some kind of peel. Where's Archie? Big Ellie Blast. Good trick in it. It's going to be big for Holy. Barely alive, but I think it may be over. And Archie does end up slamming her down. Holy moly. Again, worst matchup possible. I want to see Holy moly get another game. That isn't against an Enhanced Shaman. I feel like every time she got to play, it was against an Enhanced Shaman. But it's going to be a bigger run coming out for Beggar, trying to see if he can get some biggie damage onto Archie. Going to be mid tricking with a wall. As the Necrolord row continues to spike, Archie is going to walk away from Resonant Trinket. Quick disarm to the Shaman. As just trying to see if he can continue fighting on through the damage of Beggar. That is a full Vendetta. Cloak of Shadow so he doesn't get stunned. could be going for evasion here. As soon as Cloak of Shadows is gone, if Ari is banked up enough Maelstrom, he could get big damage in, trying to get interrupted on Hex. That's going to be a quick flash got Beggar, got evasion, so if anything, at least he's avoiding some of the physical damage from Arhi. And Arhi, as long as he has a Flame Shock on Beggar, no, looks like this man is completely out of there. Got himself the conduit for a shield in order to be able to dive into stealth and walk away. Kidney shot onto Arhi. The rogue doesn't really have offensives either. That is quite a bit of bleed and poison damage just over to Arhi, trying to reduce the amount of Maelstrom this man generates, but the Ghost has got him covered. Aegis is helping him with a lot of that nature damage and poison damage from the rogue, but the physical damage continuing to hit as hard as they can. Blind onto Arhi. The Ghosters are still on. Beggar does go for Shadow Meld for a second. Ghost puppies peel off. Beggar does have a Flame Shock on him. Sap it to Arhi. I think he has him. Unless Arhi has himself like the biggest damage possible. Garrod is going to stop that wall most likely. Unless Beggar goes for a stun. Garrod. Sunder. Wait, I think it gives him a break. Gives opportunity to peel off. That's going to be a Primordial Blast setup. Big Lightning Bolt onto the rogue. Cheat death right after. Flame Shock on him. Arhi does go for self-heal. I don't think that's going to be... The Flame Shock is going to be enough. So I think Beggar does get himself a clean escape actually. Except that Kevin Slime. If Kevin does a couple spits on the rogue, at least he'll stop him from resetting. Frost Shock. Beggar can maybe go for a Kidney Shot. Cloak of Shadows back up. Disarm to Arhi. Cloak of Shadows now. That's a Primordial. That's a pretty big tell. It's like, yeah, I'm about to zap you. I'm about to do a big zap. Cloak right now. Oh my god, this man is so ballsy. He's not cloaking. As a rogue, I would have cloaked a year ago. Oh my goodness. That's what I was afraid of. That's what I would have done immediately. Oh my god. The fact that he didn't cloak, the fact that he was like, you know what, I'm okay for a bit. I mean, at the end there, like, you know, you have no health. Even if you cloak, like, I think it's over. But when he Primordial bolts you, I'm like, oh, immediately cloak. Unless maybe like Arhi had no Maelstrom. Gonna be full dots, Taxi with a full soul rot, everything. Taxi, you're just rotting down Arhi. I think those dots might do work. It's gonna try to just see if he can blink on top of him, trying to go for neutral in case he needs to. Arhi trying to get himself as much heal as possible. There's just so much rotting him down. Got him some Ghost Wolves, the Aegis Trinket to try to offset a lot of the damage. Wall is down for a while, but he's still just rotting. The Dark Glare around the corner trying to get some zaps into Arhi. Quick interrupt on Taxi for a second. Does have himself a Dark Pack ready to go. Fear onto Arhi. Is gonna have to waddle out of there little by little, but at least was able to deal with a lot of the dot damage, able to dispel agony whenever possible, as well as any of the slow curses. Gonna be a quick fear onto Arhi as Taxi just continued to put in the pressure. Taxi went really aggressive here. Normally he just puts dots and let him rot from a distance, but there he went aggressive, knowing that Arhi got a lot of self-healing, lots of ways to recover, and Arhi miraculously survives that engagement. But Taxi tried to see if he could catch back up to him. More to call into Arhi, hit him with a fear, no pre-tremor or nothing. But it looks like it's not going to last long at all. Arhi is still loaded up, taking a lot of damage. We are hitting a 10%, 10-minute dampener, boys. 31% damage, well, healing reduction, not damage reduction. Quick Sunder on the Taxi. The Resolve Trick is going to give him free casting. Ghostos are in, tricking for Arhi. You see, he's like, oh, yeah, at the end, there's nothing you can do. Once he got the Resolve Trick of proccing on a single Sunder, it just, Taxi gets free cast. He just gets free casting. He just gets free, oh god, I'm literally in his head. He gets free casting. We were literally in that man's head for a second. Let's see. I'm trying to see what's in Sejuro's head. I know it's like a weird angle, but he was next to a wall. I thought maybe we could take a peep. More to call again in sand. Over at the warrior. As Taxi just continuing to let the dots rot. That's going to be full snap contagion, full damage, rotting down Sejuro from his core as the warrior just using rage just to get close. Get interrupted on Shadow. Quick reflect on that UA, which is good. Charge over Taxi, but that's going to activate the Resolve Trick. And does Sejuro have a leap? Unless you play Leaper, I think there's no way for you to reconnect back with Taxi whatsoever. Gonna be setting up a gateway. Sejuro trying to mount up. There's gonna be Taxi poking around. Quick Curse of Exhaustion. Man, that slow is just so brutal. Curse of Exhaustion, man. It's exhausting to play with. Remember when Warlocks at the start of the expansion when that Corruption legendary, where Corruption just had a 60% perma slow? Or, yeah, perma slow as long as there's a Corruption on target. At least now Warlocks have to like spend a global putting a slow, right? Or is this just as bad? I actually don't know which one's worse. So you're trying to see if he can just fight through the damage, fighting through the pain. In Rage Generation, he needs to get himself a heal. Dark Layer getting killed off by tags. So Shura has no target to heal. He literally just killed the Dark Layer. So tried to go for a port, got himself a small shield, but the dots that they're gonna do it. Aegis, Reflect, Warlock also using everything he can. Wait for a second. For some reason, the pets attack and fake tags. He looks like Yase. Maybe send the pets a little early. I think he was expecting for Sejuro to be dead, but looks like he wasn't dead. Tags to get hit with a stun. stun. I don't think anyone meant to disrupt the 1v1. I think literally Yasuo saw that Sajiro had no health. But looks like he's still in. Hopefully I didn't mess the duel too much. Sajiro using the port on such a short cooldown with Draven to try to give himself as much survivability versus Taxi. Going to be the Mortal Coil. Looks like Taxi recovered. Looks like that stun didn't really interrupt his flow too badly. Quick drain Sajiro. Man, the fact that Sajiro survived that for a second was insane. Actually, with Yasuo going for the axe toss on Taxi, that might have interrupted Sajiro too. Because that axe toss activates the resolve trinket, and then Taxi got some free casting, and Sajiro couldn't really do much. Couldn't hit him with a fear or anything. That's gonna be stunned to Taxi. But how is Taxi getting stunned up back to back like that? Wall for Taxi, it looks like maybe his resolve trinket stopped working, or Yasuo is using so many fears, he's just able to blast through the resolve and get through all the charges really quickly. Yasuo has a lot of bursts available. Taxi wants to go for full dots, full damage onto Yasuo. That is gonna be a quick drain for Taxi at the very least. Able to recover a little bit of health. As Taxi bowing out of there for a second. 13 minutes, 45 seconds of the duel, 53% dampener, so the healing is getting ridiculously reduced. For Yasuo, the healing is very, very much going to be affected for him and what he's trying to do. Taxi at least has drain, and that does a lot of healing. Yasuo getting loaded up with dots. Is that going to be fake Taxi? Empowering all the dots. That's going to be hysteria. Everything. That's going to be Darklet joining. That's going to be full dots Rod. As Taxi gets interrupted with a Mortal Coil sending right after. Krongs going for a big ambush onto Taxi to save a Mortal Coil to follow. Full stun onto Taxi with a resonance. I don't know if that's going to be enough to survive this. He might just be over. Is Taxi dead? Back-to-back spikes for Krongza. DFA catches up to Taxi through the wall. Mortal Coil hits him immediately. It's going to be a no trick, and Taxi going for the drain life. And Krongza trying to see if he can grapple over. I think it's over. Yep. Taxi did as best as he could there at the end, man. He did what he could as best he could, but Krongza with a full resonator got him so low. That DFA was also kind of clutch. Didn't trinket that Mortal Coil. It felt like he had it in the bag. Looks like Boss is going to be up next. Krongza not even wasting any time. He just rushed in Ballas. Trinkets out of that one. With the Cloak of Shadows, expecting big burst out of Ballas. Ballas does get a Decimated Bolt, but I don't know if he Decimated Bolted into a Cloak. If you Decimated Bolt into a Cloak of Shadows or any immunity, you still get the empowerment mechanic of your Demon Bolts, Incinerates, and Shadow Bolts, which I guess Affliction Warlocks wouldn't really use them, right? Trying to go for a big go versus Ballas. Did it try to stun him? He might have. I'm not even sure. Gouge is going to be immune to CC. Gouge? Wait, Resonator, does it burn? No, Resonator does not get a burst damage at all. Boss does go for the port. Try to catch up to Krongza. Might actually be able to take him out with a Vile Fiend and everything. Krongza could be in big trouble actually right here. Decimate Bolt gets up Boss. Decimate Big Go. Cloak Shot is up for the Rogue. Boss just needs to wait it out a little bit longer. Get a shot. Boss could be in big trouble right now. Unless he has stun for the Rogue or anything at all. Oh, it's really close. Oh, Krongza does end up taking him out. Man, that was close. If only he had like a pet stun or something, anything, that would have been over. Actually, the boss would have had it. Fake Taxi got 3. Krongza got 2. And somebody else on Team Krongza, I think it was Ark, he was actually just collecting names. What the hell? That was actually... was the City on Cloak. It is normally 2 minutes. Unless...